and welcome to another week of Libertarians at Large. My name is Eric Rautzep, and this is where we discuss the week in news and express a libertarian point of view of the ongoings in our nation and abroad. We welcome your comments and questions in our chat bots, so feel free to comment regularly. We may share your comment on the air. This week, we are joined, as always, but with Valerie Sarwark and Laura Epke. How are you doing?
Good.
Good stuff. Oh, so everyone have a good week?
Yeah.
I know it's a crazy one. I mean, it's hard to determine what's good nowadays, right?
Right.
I spent today the whole afternoon in Lincoln at the state capitol waiting to testify, waiting for a 5-minute testimony, right, on a bill. And you know, I spent 4 years in the state capitol, and it's just weird. It's like nobody's there. People are milling about, trying to, you know, they're waiting for testimony. They only let like 7 people into the room, and it's just bizarre. And our whole appropriations committee is now quarantined. So 9 of the 49 legislators are quarantined right now because they were COVID exposed.
Oh no!
Had a meeting or some sort of a presentation like last week.
Oh no, that's horrible.
I think it's funny.
Well, it is. I mean, it's
yeah.
As somebody pointed
I still
out,
don't want people to be quarantined. I mean, it's horrible, but it's just, my God.
As somebody pointed out, one of the members of the committee was supposed to introduce the bill that was being heard in the Health and Human Services Committee, but of course he's quarantined. So his legislative aide introduced it for him, and I was talking to him, and he said, half of the committee is in the high risk, you know. So they're paying close attention to the protocols. So.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned the word bill, because that actually kind of brings up a very important point of something that happened this week. Do we know what I'm talking about?
I mean, what? There's been like 1,000 bills this week.
Bill?
It's a bill passed, and it was a very unusual bill because it was the first bill to be introduced by a libertarian.
Oh, the resolution out in Wyoming. Yeah.
Yes.
Marshall Burt.
Yep.
Yes, and it was the first piece of business that was heard in front of the Wyoming legislature. So
pretty exciting.
Absolutely. I'm very, very happy about it. And it opens up the ability to medically treat veterans with more medical treatments or more possibilities, and does away with a lot of restrictions, especially in some homeopathic aspects and stuff like that. So I think that's really amazing.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, okay, so I misheard you when you started talking about bills, even though I had talked about one. And I was thinking that it was Groundhog's Day, right? And I was thinking Punxsutawney Phil. So it's been a long day.
That's not until the end of February, Groundhog's Day.
No.
We're a couple of weeks ahead of schedule.
It's the second.
But I think we all want spring, so I can't fault you for that.
It's the second. It's next week.
That's next week.
Is it really?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well then I'm the one that's out of touch here. Oh.
Yeah, no, this month is already over. You got snow. Speaking of
we in Durham, North Carolina, we got an inch and a half of snow. Woo!
Oh, we got 15 inches on Monday.
There you go.
Yeah. Ours is big. Our snow's bigger than your snow.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's not exactly the most difficult thing.
No.
We only got 3, but I was happy. I got to see the pictures of my alma mater on Facebook in Virginia Beach, or Norfolk, really. And snowed there once in 4 years when I was there. So
Oh wow.
yeah, it's a nice break for the people down south. But yeah, I'm just waiting for our 15-inch snowstorm here.
Okay,
Oh, it's
people want to know our views on Robinhood and GameStop, and I know nothing about this. I mean,
okay.
I saw a story, but I didn't read it, so it's up to you, Eric.
Yeah, because
So actually, I'm really disgusted at Robinhood over this. Valerie, do you have? Are you familiar with this?
no, I mean I know what's happening, but I tried to read everything that was going on, and I honestly just don't understand what's happening. But then when the next part happened, I feel like that's what I'm in.
So Elon Musk basically started talking about how hedge fund individuals are betting that the GameStop stock was going to bottom out. And if it bottomed out, the hedge fund people would make a lot of money on this. And when Elon Musk started talking about this, individuals were buying GameStop stock and artificially inflating the hoo-ha out of it. I mean, it's like from where it started, it's like over 650% up.
GameStop.
Yeah, exactly. GameStop, right? And Robinhood, which is one of the main platforms that a lot of these individuals are investing in, or were buying the GameStop stock through, has now actually stopped trading GameStop and a select few other hedge fund stocks. So this is actually playing into the hands of the hedge fund managers. So now everyone's starting to wonder, well, if we're rigging the game, is there really a value to hedge funds? And what's the legality of this? The Federal Trade Commission wants to go after Elon Musk for talking about this. The Federal Trade Commission is talking about possible ramifications against stopping trading on certain shares. Nobody has clean hands on this. It's disgusting. And I think the only person that should have clean hands but doesn't is Elon Musk, because he's completely exposing the wrongs and the evils of the hidden banking society that we have. You know, I mean, if hedge fund people can make bets, but you rig the bet to come out in your favor, is that really a bet? I don't know. But that's the way I look at it. It's a free market. It needs to operate the way it needs to operate. And if people are going to buy into a stock, either to prove Elon right or to shut other people up, I don't care. They're investing in our economy. They're investing their money into our future, or our company's future, or what have you. Good for them. I love it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for that, because I'm clueless.
I put it all together. It was like, and I'm like reading tweets and trying to see, why is this bad? But the part where they stopped trading, I thought that didn't seem kosher.
No, actually, so there was a point that the New York Stock Exchange slowed trading because of this. So they actually delayed trades coming in via digitally, but they themselves never stopped trading, even though they threatened it. Robinhood, which is just an app that you could buy stocks on, they're the ones that actually shut it down. So I don't know. I mean, it's dirty pool.
Okay, so Gary says he's worried about hyperinflation, and we should discuss that. Are you worried about hyperinflation? Anybody here worried about hyperinflation?
I don't know if I'm worried about hyperinflation.
Things to be worried about right now.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely see us probably entering into an inflationary cycle, but I don't know. I don't see any of the telltale signs that would tell us that we're entering into a hyperinflation.
I talked to somebody the other day who was in the markets pretty heavily, and the sort of the investment broker kind of guy,
Mm-hmm.
and he thinks that we could have the signs that he's seen in terms of all of the extra stimulus
Mm-hmm.
that's coming our way. I mean, what we're gonna end up doing is we end up monetizing the debt at some point. And that becomes that becomes the potential for some real hyperinflation. So,
well, I mean, there's definitely signs that we're heading towards a recession, and very likely within the next 3 to 4 years, if things don't change internationally, we might be looking at a depression. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's really interesting.
I guess I'm gonna have to tell my husband not to plan on retiring, right?
Yeah.
Well, it depends on what type of retirement fund you have.
Yeah. Well, he turns 60 on he turns 60 on Monday.
Yeah, he's got another 15 years in him.
Oh,
That's what I keep telling him. We'll get through this.
There's a way of life in my family that you on the day of your funeral you work half a day.
Yeah.
So it's
yeah.
I don't plan on ever seeing any type of retirement or anything like that. I mean,
Yeah.
I even invest. I have a 401k. I have a stock portfolio. I have other investment opportunities that I want to start leveraging. I still don't see a day that I can actually retire. I don't see how that's a possibility.
Yeah, well, I don't think he's really going to retire. Not for a long time. I mean, as long as he's able to work. Yeah, and same with me. As long as I'm able to work, why would you want to, just do nothing?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Amy agrees. Is retirement? Yeah. What's that? So yeah,
my husband is a doctor, and he says the worst thing that can happen is for people to retire and not have a plan.
Right.
Because he said they die. He said people decide that they're going to retire, but then they don't know what to do with themselves, and they die. So, stay busy, people.
Oh yeah. Actually, my parents have bucked the family trend, and they did actually retire, and I swear they're busier in retirement than they are actually when they were working. It's amazing.
There are some people like that, and I really admire them. That they retire at 65 or 67, mm-hmm. and they're still healthy, and mm-hmm. and so then they, start volunteering everywhere, mm-hmm. and doing all sorts of crazy stuff. So
I mean, my mother teaches now, and all of it's just amazing. It's crazy. Yeah, she teaches knitting. Wow. So it's amazing. I just and she has so many knitting and weaving and looming projects going on. I have a hard time keeping track of it all. But
right.
More power. I mean, that's what it is.
We had a bunch of 70 and 80 and a few 90-year-olds for a while who were teaching English as a second language to adults in our church. And that was, I mean, they were former teachers from way back, and so they'd retired and they decided they needed something to do, so they started teaching that. So it's like, well, good for them.
They were teachers from way back in the day. They probably needed to knock the rust off their rulers.
That's right. Well, some of them may have used the rulers.
See, I wasn't kidding.
No. Okay, so what's Clubhouse? I'm clueless. It's Amy asks if there's any libertarians on Clubhouse or who need an invite because she's trying to get a club started there.
Jess Mears is on Clubhouse.
Who?
Jess Mears, the former.
What is it?
It's
another social media thing, or
it's another social media thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's another. So I am not on Clubhouse. I've decided that I'm going to let a social media platform mature before I try to take on even more social media, because we've all seen what happened with Parler. So yeah. And if anyone here watching is a Parler fan or user, I apologize. So, okay, Amy has defined it. So Clubhouse is a voice-based social media. Lots of panel discussions and interactive podcasts. Actually, that sounds actually kind of interesting.
Maybe we should be on Clubhouse.
There you go. We should do it.
Stream to Clubhouse, a podcast to Clubhouse.
Yeah, we're on Facebook and we're on YouTube. Might as well add Clubhouse if we can.
All I keep hearing in my head is the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
That was my granddaughter.
That, even though it's going on in my head now too. Thank you, Valerie.
my granddaughter watches that, and so when she was down at Christmas time, they were bored or whatever, and she turns that on, and
and you're like, this is not the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. This is
hot dog, diggity dog, or whatever it is.
Yes.
Well, so when I was a kid, on cable, you'd get like the free weekend of Disney, and the crazy thing is, okay, so Valerie, you're my age. The new Mickey Mouse Club hadn't actually come out yet. So if you watch Disney Channel, you would actually get the old Annette Funicello,
the black and white one,
the black and white one. So that's the Disney Channel. That's the Disney the Mickey Mouse Club that I grew up with, watching every once in a while the weekends where we had free Disney. So that's
okay.
We're way off topic now.
Yeah, exactly. We're in left field somewhere out there.
It's one of those kinds of weeks.
It really is. I totally. Oh, thank you.
Happy birthday, Valerie.
I totally spaced on where we were in the month, even though my birthday was last week. It just, this whole month got ahead of me, or away from me, I guess. It's.
Oh, I can't believe next week is February. It's like, what's going on?
Like 2021 is going to be so much different.
Not yet.
Not at all.
Actually, I was coming home. I was listening to the news on the way back from Lincoln, and they're talking about how this pandemic thing is going to be worse. That that the next 6 to 8 weeks are going to be awful. It's like, how could it be any worse?
Jesus. 6 to 8 weeks, I don't care. You're going to say
nothing.
Months. Whew, fine.
Yeah, they're everybody's now scared of, the variants that are out there, and whether or not the vaccine that they've got is going to cover those.
So it's fairly certain that the vaccines that are out currently are covering the British mutation
and the Brazilian or whatever it is.
Yeah, and now there's a South African mutation and a Brazilian mutation, and I think they're already pretty confident that our current vaccines are covering the Brazilian mutation, but they're not sure about the South African mutation, or I may have that switched around.
You're right. That's what they were talking about, but on the way home, the news was saying that they think that it covers South Africa. It's like, well, okay, whatever. I mean, just do something,
Okay, so here's the other thing that really kind of irks me, right? So on the news, you hear everyone, and I'm not trying to downplay Corona. It's a real disease. It is serious. We need to take, personal responsible accountability for it. We don't need the government getting in our lives and telling us what to do, but we need to take personal accountability. But here's what the news does. So the British version, they're now touting it that it's 30% more lethal than the original. Well, if the original, according to the CDC, is currently 1.1% lethal, and we've increased it by 30%, wouldn't that make the British version now only 1.41%? Yeah. So it's such a small increase, yet we use the bigger number because it sounds so much more shock value-ish. And we cause this entire tizzy or crazy behavior because everyone's, oh my gosh, it's 30% more lethal. Oh, light the fires. But in reality, if you really boil it down to the not the news flash statistic, but you actually look at the real statistic, it's not that scary anymore. And yeah, 30% sounds like only 70% live. Exactly, good point. You know, and that's that. But that's how because news isn't about reporting news; it's about getting ratings while reporting the news. I don't get it. It's yes, you know, I mean, I get it. The news is a business. They have to make money. Absolutely, I totally agree with that. But then there has to be some sort of internal journalistic accountability that they still have to hold to. Like, I would love the days of Walter Cronkite to return. You know, I mean, it's... Oh, Valerie, you got a comment.
Did you see the Washington Post take out the information about Kamala Harris and her past drug locking up people? They did a negative story on her in like 2014, maybe.
They did a negative story on her? That's
like years ago.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
She was like locking all these people up. I believe this is what the topic was. She's done so many bad things that I can't remember which bad thing this was about. But they went back and redacted the bad parts of that article, like and then pretended that they didn't do it. Reason exposed them. Reason magazine exposed them. And
good
said,
for them.
Good. Yeah. I mean, you know, and that's the thing that, you know, that we ought to, you know, we all make mistakes, but they don't go away just because you're elected to a higher, you know, I mean, if you can explain them.
That's the best compliment I think we've gotten ever.
Oh my God.
As Eric tries to explain Robin Hood and Elon Musk, we're going, huh?
Okay, so maybe I do have an addiction to reading news, but I don't only get it from American sources. I also read Deutsche Welle, and I read, you know, BBC, and you know, I go all over the world, and I kind of shoot in between everybody and kind of come up with the truth. I hope.
Yeah. No, we have the morning news on the our CIA device, our Google Home, and so it tells us the news, and it always starts with some BBC America story, and that's more. I feel like it's more balanced, and then maybe it's because it's in a British accent, but.
Well, and that's the other thing about the news in the United States that actually kind of just ticks me off. Everything has to have an American slant to it. Everything has to be a U.S. story, but there's a whole world out there. Like, I mean, I know about the crisis going on in India and how New Delhi's locked down by the farmers, but your average U.S. citizen probably has never even heard about this because, I mean, yes, we've talked about it on this show and it's come up in the New York Times quiz, but I mean, it got up to a new loggerhead just the other day. You know, the Indian police are now starting to shoot farmers and stuff like that. It's absolutely insane, and you'll never hear it on U.S. news.
No.
Okay, Jarday or Jared wants to know if you have a subscription to Stratfor.
No, I don't. I've looked at it before, but I've never pulled the trigger on it.
Okay. That's all the news we need to know.
Yeah, no, currently I subscribe to the English version of the Tokyo Times, the new a newspaper from New Delhi, Deutsche Welle, the London Courier. I also read BBC, and then I read local news for traffic and weather. So yeah, it's and Reuters is actually a great source. I have to say, Jonathan. Nope, sorry. Reuters is a phenomenal source. AP Wire, another great source. If you want mainly political news in the United States, I was a fan, then I wasn't a fan, and I'm becoming a fan of them again. The Drudge Report, I highly recommend them. But Drudge Report kind of goes through cycles for me. I don't know. So
kept reading it for a while. The Economist, Facebook user, yes. We used to subscribe to The Economist before we had kids and had actual more time to read print news.
Yes. Yeah, The Economist is excellent. But even, if you go and read a lot of these international newspapers, they also have great economic sections throughout them and stuff like that. And yes, Matthew, I agree with you. I do not believe in the Q stuff at all. I am not a Q follower. I don't think any of us are.
Only on Star Trek.
Yes. Well, hey.
Yeah, Next Generation.
He's an awesome actor, too.
That's right.
And actually, a genuinely he plays these horrible villains usually, but actually, if you've ever seen him interviewed, he's actually a really nice guy.
Oh, yeah? Okay, well.
Eric's reading all the comments.
Yeah, I know. I'm scanning the comments. There's actually a lot of great comments this week.
Okay, Anton says he's a Democrat but voted Libertarian on the state level elections. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's how we change things, by split ticket voting, and by voting for the best individual. And if you feel that the best individuals are libertarians at the local level, I support you voting 100%. I also agree with this comment. Everyone should be a libertarian.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Everyone really
Then we could all hold hands, sing Kumbaya, never argue about anything.
Yeah, right.
Okay, Ryan, I know you're joking, but I am not a Q follower because I am Q.
The almighty powerful.
Oh, Ryan's got a great sense of humor.
Yeah. Ryan we have appointed him on the candidate support committee. He is going to be our youth advisory member.
Yay.
Very nice. Congratulations, Ryan.
Yes, good. He had messaged me and asked if the deadline had happened, and I was like, no, go apply. So I'm glad that he applied and he got taken in. Yes.
Yep.
Awesome.
No, we felt like we needed to have some youth advice. So we're excited to have his activity and presence on the committee, and he's added to our listserv and everything already.
I agree with John.
There we go.
He was in my smoker.
But you know what? That North Carolina barbecue, I don't know about that.
Okay, so there are two types of North Carolina barbecue.
Okay.
You have your coastal, which is vinegar based.
Yeah,
You have your Lexington. And Lexington is a tomato and vinegar based, and I am a Lexington barbecue fan.
Okay.
That's what I am. I do also really love South Carolina barbecue, which is mustard based, and I can't get enough South Carolina barbecue.
I guess I like Kansas City barbecue, which is close to me, but I don't know but it's a sweeter barbecue, not so vinegary.
So Susan just commented, don't diss the barbecue. Yeah.
I lived in North Carolina for 2 years, and the first time somebody gave me some barbecue, it's like, what is this? You've ruined a perfectly good piece of meat. That's
yes.
See, and Tyler knows where it's at.
Strong opinions.
He's also a Lexington barbecue fan. But we've kind of run the gamut, and I think it's time to start on the news quiz. How
Okay.
does everyone else feel?
Good.
Hey,
Did you want me to-
Aaron likes the KC barbecue too. Yeah.
That's a good one. Did you already
So
look at
if
it, Eric?
you're a Kansas City barbecue fan, what is that? Next week, remind me. I will actually show you a bottle of Kansas City barbecue sauce. Will put anyone in the dust. It's actually made. It's an old family recipe. I found it at a barbecue stand, and then I saw it like the next day on television. So yeah, no, it's amazing. That stuff is just out of this world. And now, for the life of me, I cannot remember what the name is, but it's in my fridge, and I'm not going to run down there and get it right now.
Okay.
But I promise I will share it next week, and we'll continue the barbecue story. But on to the New York Times news quiz. So let's.
We could talk about barbecue for an hour, according to.
Oh, absolutely. And you really think about it, barbecue is really the quintessential American food. I mean, everything else has, another nation's origin. But Americans perfected it, the hamburger, the hot dog. But and of course I jest. But the Native Americans started with barbecue. It was here. It was barbacoa, and it has just evolved with the American experience. And I love it. But okay. Again, we will continue this conversation next week because
Eric,
cooking, and I could talk about cooking all the time. So.
Eric is the quintessential Renaissance man. He knows something about everything.
Yes.
I'm
I'm a 21st century Renaissance man. I think that's the ultimate compliment. I'll take it.
It's true.
In his final hours as president, Donald J. Trump pardoned 73 people. Who of the following was not among them? Steve Bannon, Elliot Broidy, Randall Cunningham, Rudolph Giuliani, and Kwame Kilpatrick.
I don't think he pardoned Giuliani, did he?
So you're saying Giuliani?
Yeah.
Valerie?
I mean, that's the two of the names I recognize. I thought it was going to be like Ross. Yeah, I'll agree with Laura because I don't remember hearing that.
It's correct. Rudy Giuliani was not pardoned. Another person who was not pardoned, Tiger King.
That's right. Yeah. He wasn't.
He was expecting it. I mean, he had makeup and limo and everything ready to go.
Whoops.
Never that pardon never came for him.
No, really sad.
And after all he gave us this year.
I know.
Last year.
He allowed a lot of people to get through COVID.
That's right.
I had the same thought as commenter Alan, Randall Cunningham, the Eagles quarterback. It's like
yeah, I blame Carol Baskin. Okay. Any other comments on Rudy Giuliani and not receiving a pardon?
No. Hopefully he gets his colored hairspray for.
I mean, so I used to really have a lot of respect for Rudy Giuliani.
Yes.
I actually I didn't
in
work
2001
for him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but I kind of worked indirectly for him while he was a mayor of New York City. And I think 9/11 just mentally destroyed the man, and he should have been allowed to fade into the sunset, and we could all remember him fondly. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, that just was never allowed to happen. And everyone will always now remember Rudy Giuliani in a very negative light.
Yeah.
Okay. That's true. Brian has a great comment though. Bernie sitting alone helps us get through COVID as well.
Yes.
Yes. That has been beautiful. It's been a
The
beautiful
Bernie
thing.
memes are gold.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
just yeah. They're I totally agree. The Bernie memes are definitely gold.
Okay.
All right, next question. Amanda Gorman, a 22-year-old poet who read "The Hill We Climb" shortly after President Biden's address, became a star of the inauguration. Which word finished this line in Gorman's poem? Somehow we've weathered and witnessed a nation that isn't broken, but simply battered, breaking, great, hurting, unfinished.
Unfinished is the only word that rhymes, but I didn't watch this, so I don't know.
Yeah, I'd say unfinished. I don't remember.
I agree with you, unfinished.
I could be a poet. Look at that.
Valerie's a poet. She doesn't even know it.
Oh. Yeah, and we had a lot of people also agreeing with you right off the bat as unfinished. So definitely the right answer.
We're 2 for 2.
Yeah, 2 for 2. We're doing well. Let's see.
Oh, I thought that was Bernie.
No, it's not Bernie.
It's this.
It's a lady.
And for the life of me, I don't know who this is.
I'm going to have to get really close to the camera and look like a weirdo because I can't see. I don't know.
I'll whoops.
Yeah.
Does that help?
Oh,
No.
it's Janet Yellen.
Oh, it's yeah. Now that I zoom in, I think you're right.
Do not hire me for detective work.
Yep, you're right, Laura.
Woo!
Good job.
The Zoom saves us. Look at that.
Right. It is tough, when you don't see the whole face with those masks.
Mhm.
It's tough sometimes. I when I was at the Capitol today, there were all sorts of people that I thought I recognized, and they looked at me like they thought they recognized me, but we just kept walking because we didn't actually talk to each other.
It's interesting because Yellen. I mean, obviously, she's very Keynesian in her economic policy, and I do not agree with her and the economic decisions that she makes as a Federal Reserve chair. But I have immense respect for her. I don't think that her economic vision for this country or globally is right. She believes not quite. I mean, she believes in a capitalist society. Don't get me wrong, but she definitely believes in the hand that guides, and yeah, no, I'm way too Austrian and Chicagoan to agree with her economically, but she's done some amazing stuff.
Okay, it's kind of funny. Janet Yellen is Newt Gingrich in disguise. Could be.
Yeah, I like that.
Same white hair and all that sort of stuff,
Yeah. Newt Gingrich does not look good anymore. I mean, my God, that man has gone down a other side, but that's another story. Oh, I mean, not that he was ever, a good-looking individual, but he has digressed from there.
Okay, Jared, I will. Actually, I'm having lunch with one of them next Saturday. The mystery message.
The mystery message.
Anton, I think we all wish that Justin Amash was in the Biden cabinet. But here's the thing: I don't think he would. I don't think he would accept. I just my personal opinion. If Mr. Amash is watching and he disagrees with me, I will be more than I will concede my point. But I don't think he would accept.
Would have him let him come on as a guest.
Oh yeah, we should get.
We should invite him on as a guest. I think that would be a lot of fun.
We can see how many questions he can answer right.
Right? This is going to be face to face.
I feel like he'd be like B, C, D, A. You know, just know him already. Amash is the Chuck Norris of the Libertarian Party.
That's right.
There you go. Okay, well, yeah, Brian, I stand corrected. She doesn't believe in capitalism. She believes in crony capitalism.
Anybody in the government does that.
Yes, yeah, and that's what I kind of meant by that. She believes in the hand that guides, but you put a much finer point on it, and I appreciate you for doing so.
Okay.
All right. On his first day in office, Biden recommitted the United States to be part of the World Health Organization, which President Trump had pulled out of. Whom did Biden send to represent the U.S. at the meeting of the organization the day after the inauguration?
Excuse me. I don't know.
Bless you.
COVID. I think it was Dr. Fauci.
Oh, that would make sense.
Yeah, it's Fauci.
I have another one coming.
I love the idea of the World Health Organization. Do you guys have any opinions on the World Health Organization?
It's the idea, right? I mean, the idea behind, kind of international cooperation on these things.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely love it.
In a world, we are not Fortress America or Fortress any place anymore. We are a world that's engaged and people travel around a lot. Mm-hmm. And so the idea behind it is great. It's the practice, the implementation of it that becomes problematic.
Yes.
Yeah, I totally agree. The spirit of the World Health Organization is phenomenal. The application leaves a lot to be desired, unfortunately.
Yeah, and there's too much contradiction between.
And I agree with you. Fauci is very smart,
and he's liberated now.
Yes,
he can say what he really thinks.
Yes,
So.
It's
okay.
Which of the following will be true of Biden's cabinet if current nominees are confirmed? You shall select 3 and only 3 of the 5 items. Okay, so if anyone else is a Monty Python fan over here, I just read that and I just thought of the Holy Hand of Grenade.
Yeah. Well, I think the first one, it will have more people of color than any prior cabinet.
Second one also.
Okay, so we've got 2 out of our 3.
There's not enough room in the White House for have all of them to have physical offices there.
No, I'm fairly certain Pete Buttigieg would not be the youngest cabinet member.
Not at 39.
No.
Not at 30. Yeah, not at 30.
Not when you consider people like Hamilton and people like that back originally.
Yeah,
right.
they were dead by 39.
Yeah,
because wasn't like RFK like 34 or like 33
when he's Attorney General, maybe. I don't know.
When he was working with JFK?
Everyone in the comments is saying Lander. Well,
okay.
Two people are saying Lander.
Well, everybody. Okay, let's see if we got it right.
If I can get my mouse to work.
Yes!
Yay! Thanks.
We are so smart. Thank you, everyone out there who's commenting, because you make us better. Okay, which 3 new senators were sworn in this week?
Oh, Jesus.
Doug Jones, Laura Montez, John Ossoff, Alex Padilla, Ralph Warnock.
So Ossoff would have to be it, right?
We have 2 from Georgia, so it was Ossoff and
the other guy from Georgia.
was that Warnock? Maybe. I don't know. I don't remember.
I can only remember Ossoff because.
And I think Padilla was who got the other one would have been from California to take. Okay, Anton says it's the last 3. It was whoever took Harris's seat in California, right?
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh yeah, I forgot about her.
So are we going to go with Anton and say the last 3?
Yeah, let's do the last.
Sure.
Because he's
It's up
right.
to you, Anton.
Because he's absolutely right.
Okay.
Oh, yay, good job.
Yeah.
Well, there they are.
Yep, there they are, taking their oaths.
So blue.
Yeah, very blue.
Yeah. We're going international finally. I was wondering.
Okay.
We got a lot of domestic questions here. Alexei Navalny, Russia's most prominent opposition leader, returned to the country this week for the first time since being poisoned. What happened when he arrived at the airport?
He got poisoned again.
He was arrested within minutes, was denied entry and sent back to Germany, was invited to meet President Vladimir Putin at his palace on the Black Sea, or he joined his supporters in a protest march. So, okay, I'm going to take one of these right off the map for you. His plane that was flying into Russia was diverted at the last moment because the original airport that he was about to land in had too many of his supporters, and they were worried that this was going to happen.
Oh, wow.
So not that
his
one.
flight was completely diverted to a completely different airport, and it was really bad.
So like 7 people said arrested. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was arrested within minutes. I mean, they were waiting at the end of the skywalk right there. I mean, it was like instant.
I mean, thank God we're not Russia. Everybody getting poisoned all the time.
It's Russia. Yeah, I mean, it's the way of the Russians.
I love caviar and vodka, but you know.
Yeah, no. Political deceit and poison and murder and assassination is more Russian than vodka and caviar.
Not into that.
And if we have any Russian viewers, you know what I'm talking about, and I'm not going to apologize.
I love your caviar.
Yeah. What's happening in this picture? Actually, I don't know. I mean, looks like a cave, and it looks Tibetan.
Looks like they're cleaning something.
And yeah, okay. What are the options here? Crew is filming The King of Bangkok, one of the first big budget Hollywood films to begin production. Wow, I'm losing the English language here. Since the pandemic began, police officials are trying to reconstruct the escape route of pro-democracy activists whom the Thai government had imprisoned. Medical researchers are investigating the origins of the coronavirus in a Thai cave famous for its bat population. Or tourists from the first cruise to stop in Thailand in 9 months are visiting a popular shrine.
Oh, jeez. What does the gallery say? I feel like cave research is a thing too. Everybody's saying that.
Yeah.
You would not go on a cruise.
That's third answer. Cave research,
bats.
a bat
Bats.
thing.
Okay, bat things, I think.
Oh.
Yep.
Yay, bad things.
Yeah, everyone's and that makes sense. You know, I mean, We're still trying to figure out patient zero.
Enjoy your cruise to Padia.
Yeah. So. I don't know why I was expecting a snarky comment. So.
All right, Stanley Cup.
Yep. The National Hockey League made some changes this season in response to the pandemic. Which one of these moves did the NHL make? Are either of you hockey fans?
I am, but I don't know about this. I don't pay enough attention to rules. That's why I am a libertarian.
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, okay. So would the NHL actually ban physical fighting between players?
No,
No, so we can cross that off. Created a division of only Canadian teams to avoid cross-border travel. Totally believable. Established a bubble in Duluth where all teams would spend 5 months. I know that's not true.
Yeah.
Prohibited players from kissing the Stanley Cup. That's one game. And temporarily renamed one team the Las Vegas First Responders. So out of all of these answers, the only one that kind of makes sense is this one in my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Canada hates us right now, so.
Yeah.
There you go.
And even Jared knew it. Look at that. Canadian.
Jared's brilliant.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Braden. He got the vaccine.
Yay.
Your body, your choice. Good job.
Yep.
And I'm
Absolutely.
not saying that in a bad way. I want it too.
Me too.
I believe it should apply to everything. What do you want?
Yeah.
You want to smoke weed? Smoke weed.
Go ahead, knock your socks off.
You wanna go shoot up heroin? Shoot up heroin. You wanna
Don't make us pay for it, right?
No, it's your own. It is your body, your choice, your wallet. You want an abortion? Have an abortion, and I know that's going to make me very unpopular.
You just you just made enemies now. I'm sure.
I know, I did, and I know I did. And if you want the COVID vaccine, get the COVID vaccine. I mean, it's it's not going to affect my life in any way. Whatever you do.
Great.
You do what makes you happy, and happiness is hard enough to achieve in life on your own.
Amen.
On Saturday, a team of 10 climbers became the first to reach the top of K2, the world's second tallest mountain in the winter. K2 straddles which two countries? And K2 is shown on a map right here. Obviously, Iran, Afghanistan, Tajikistan, Kyrgyzstan, Bangladesh. I'll fill this one in for you. It's India.
India.
So it must be Pakistan, huh? Pakistan and China?
Pakistan and China, yeah.
Okay, Pakistan and China. You are correct.
Yes.
Okay. Matthew says that his wife got the booster and is sick AF. I know that. But that sounds pretty common.
Yeah.
And typically it's only for about 18 to 24 hours from the people that I know that have gotten it, that they really don't feel very good for about 24 hours after the second shot. And then they feel great.
So, okay, I knew I opened up a can of worms like a half second after I said what I said. So, first of all, Anton, huge respect that you're a pro-life Democrat. I have to say I'm pro-life as well, but I don't believe that the government can or should tell anyone what to do, especially as a gay male. It is impossible to adopt a child in this country. And if it does happen, a LGBTQ couple or GSM couple will pay usually 100 to 175% more than a straight couple. And so I'm huge on pro-life and huge on adoption. I want to reduce the rules and regulations on adoption in this country. If I could change one thing tomorrow, that would be it. But, okay. And I probably just made more enemies, but hey. Which of these products could cause some cybersecurity trouble for President Biden in the White House? By the way, this is the last question. BlackBerry, which Obama was famous for, Fitbit, Peloton, or Xbox?
He rides a bike, right? I've seen him riding a bike before.
Yeah, I've seen him
No,
ride
he rides
a
a train. He rides a train.
A train.
Tyler's saying Fitbit. I'll be honest, I have no idea.
I have no
But
idea.
Peloton and Fitbit, to me, would make the most sense. Because BlackBerry, that was Obama's thing, and BlackBerries, I don't even know if they're really a thing at all any longer.
I don't think people even have it.
And an Xbox?
He doesn't really seem like an Xbox kind of
No,
guy.
he doesn't. He
I
really
mean,
doesn't.
I could see him wearing a Fitbit.
Yeah.
You know, to track his.
Brady agrees with Peloton and Fitbit.
Yeah.
So we've gotten it down to 50%, and
Let's do Peloton.
you're going Peloton?
Yeah, I think so. It's been all over the news.
Okay.
Okay.
Somehow, if it's all over the news, I've missed it entirely. Peloton. Yep.
Let me tell you.
Peloton bike.
I've walked over a mile in my own house today. I haven't not even gotten in my car today, not even walked out to the driveway, and I've walked over a mile in my house.
We're going to rewind the conversation. Thank you, Douglas.
There you go.
I'm sure if the president uses a Peloton, Peloton will put whatever programmers to create whatever security protocols he needs to be on there, just so Peloton can say that the president of the United States uses our product. I mean, let's be honest. It's free advertising for the next 4 years.
Don't you have a little bit of? I mean, as I understand the Pelotons, I mean, I have a little bit of trouble imagining that Joe Biden, who's what 78, is on a Peloton in a class. You know,
spin class. Yeah.
I'm just trying to imagine. It's like, well,
hey, you know what? More power to him if it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But it's
generally good health, not mentally, but like
it boggles my mind.
It does, but hey, I guess that's a good thing to have your mind boggled by.
I guess so.
So we've got a couple of minutes. Any announcements? Any big goings on? Anything that we want to say?
Yes.
Valerie does.
Yes.
Go for it.
The affiliate support committee is meeting right after this, and we are going to be launching our contest starting February 1st. Cash prize of $1,000, and it's for the affiliate that can build the best affiliate in the box for $250 or less.
Nice.
And as I said, cash prize $1,000. So
awesome.
Yeah, we're going to finalize everything tonight and get it ready to launch on what is the first Monday? Who knows? Whenever February 1st is.
I know.
Monday.
I know Arizona had their state Libertarian state convention last weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Is anyone having their state convention this weekend?
This weekend is I don't know. Oh, thank you, Jay. That's awesome. Indiana's doing great. I don't know. Ours is in March, and that's really the only one that's in the forefront of my mind.
Looking at the list of state conventions coming up, there's just a whole bunch of them in March, April, and May. I mean, just like every weekend.
Some of them are 2 in a weekend.
Yep.
I know June 19th is North Carolina.
Oh, lovely.
I will definitely be there. I know I will be in Tennessee on February 20th for their state convention.
And aren't you getting married soon, Eric?
March 13th.
Okay, March 13th.
Yeah, that's and then the weekend after that, March 20th, I will be in New Hampshire for the New Hampshire state convention. So yes, Valerie, I'm coming to visit.
That's commitment.
Yeah, that's news to me. That's great. Thank you.
The 27th, I'm haven't confirmed, but I'm planning on being in Indiana.
You're raising the bar for the rest of us here, Eric. I wasn't planning to go to like 20.
51 others. I want to see all my fellow LNC members. The 17th of April is West Virginia, and I have to go see our absolute favorite alternate.
What are you talking about?
And I say that jokingly because he has the sense of humor that is absolutely gold. And then May 1st, I'll be in Kansas. And that's my plan so far. Do you guys have you guys put out a plan, or am I just
You're
organizational
kind
freak?
of type A here, I think.
I'm an organizational freak, and I read the news like.
Yeah, I'm planning on going to Kansas because it's close.
Okay. I'll see you there, definitely.
Yeah, that'll be fun. And Manhattan is the city of my birth, so yeah, so it's like yeah,
it's a homecoming.
Sort of. Yeah, I don't really remember. And then I will be, well, Nebraska's not having one this year. I'll be at the Colorado one in May, the 23rd or 22nd, something like that. So, and we'll see where else I end up. Probably Iowa.
I've only scheduled through, well, other than North Carolina, I've only scheduled through May 1st. So anything after that.
You're an animal.
I know that's still like really far away.
Yeah, I know. Well, the longer, the better, the more you plan out, the better the airfare is or hotel deals. So, I try to keep myself.
April 24th. Randy says that that April 24th is Missouri State Convention. I went to Missouri State Convention 2 years ago. Where's it going to be, Randy? Got to tell us.
Yeah, Missouri's kind of a.
Missouri's close.
It's close. Yeah.
But it's close to me. I went to their convention 2 years ago, I think it was, and it was down in Springfield, Missouri. Okay, here's my I was wandering story. And there's this place called, I don't know what it's called. It's a cheese place. You stop along the highway, and there's. It's a humongous. It's in Columbia. I know where that is. There's this huge cheese place outside of north of Springfield, and you can get all sorts of cheese. And it was we stopped along the way, and there's a big mouse that you can get your picture taken with, and it's okay.
In Missouri,
in Missouri, yeah. And I'm gonna have
Provel. Where's it? That's Kansas. Which
Manhattan? It's going to be in Manhattan, Kansas.
And more than half the state of Missouri is within my designated driving zone of 14 hours from my door. So I may have to make Missouri's convention as well.
Yeah, I have this. I like to do if I can drive in less than 12 hours. I like to make the drive to them. So
yeah, my max out is like 13, 14 hours.
Y'all are nuts.
Thank you, Randy.
Randy, that's awesome. And I will definitely put that on my possible. I'm typing it in as we speak. Well, I think
Osceola Cheese Company. That's the name of the place. It's in Osceola, Missouri.
So I think that pretty much wraps us up. So everyone have a great night.
You too.
It's been another wonderful week, and we shall see you again next week on Thursday, 8 Central, 5 Pacific. So, yes.
8 Eastern.
Yeah, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. Sorry. And everyone have a great night. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Good night.
Good night.